Hey yo, they trying to
He
get us.
threatens explicitly.
They are definitely trying to get us. They trying to get us, y'all. Hey yo, they trying to get us. They trying to get us. I'll tell you when you start telling the truth, then they try to cut you off. When you start telling the truth, they start to cut you off. I don't even know where I was at. I have no idea where I was at. But uh damn. They trying to get us, y'all. They trying to get us. We can't let them. They trying to cut you. They trying to cut us short. They trying to lock us down. But guess what? We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Okay. We back. We gotta finish what we started. I gotta finish what I started. But anyway, bro, I don't even know. I think we got like 10 minutes in, and then goddamn the FCC, the FCC came and got me. The FCC came and got me, dog. I don't know. But anyway, that's crazy. So last I remember we was talking about we was talking about Ted Cruz and all the right wing support. Bro, I went off on a rant and I'm gonna put it in the playback. Y'all gonna definitely see it in the playback, but yeah, it's crazy, dog. They cut us short. I don't know what happened. Facebook, YouTube was the only one that cut my live. My live continued to play while I was on Facebook and Twitch. But of course, YouTube, the powers that be was like, hey, cut him short. Get him out of here. He telling the truth. He's exposing us. They don't want to be exposed. It was them damn right wingers. Them damn right wingers. I'm just playing. There were no damn right wingers. But whoever it was, they was not happy. But anyway, we back on our regular scheduled program. Let's start this over. And it sucks because whenever they do that, whenever YouTube does that, they slow you down. See, they trying to silence the political uprising of everyday PJ. They don't want to see me win. They don't want to see me win. You know? And that's a bad thing because speaking your mind is what we here for. The First Amendment is why we here. We not here for anything else but this. Okay? We here. So and we gonna be here. So now that we all back, now let's get back into it, okay? Cause like I said, we already heard we heard most of what Ted Cruz had to say. And talking about Brandon Carr threatening ABC over Jimmy Kimmel and ready to take down a whole network. Ready to take down a whole network over the thoughts of Jimmy Kimmel. And it's crazy because, you know, Jimmy Kimmel's man, I said a bunch. Man, I said a bunch. But when y'all just come back to the replay because I'm gonna put it all together and y'all gonna see the whole thing of what I said. But it make a lot of sense. But anyway, let's go on and see what Stephen A. had to say about this.
My only issue with Jimmy Kimmel and this whole brouhaha he finds himself inflamed with is not that, oh my God, you can't say a joke. I am incredibly alarmed by what appears to be our First Amendment rights being attacked. This is what I do for a living. I don't like that. But you know he's coming. And you know part of the reason why is to get back at everybody who tried to take him down. They didn't try to keep him out of the White House and that was it. They tried to throw him in prison. The man is coming. And you have to adjust accordingly. Nexstar has to adjust. All these broadcast corporations have to adjust. Madison Avenue has to adjust. Wall Street has to adjust. Corporate America has to adjust. China's had to adjust. Mexico has had to adjust. France, England, Germany, everybody has to make an adjustment. It's the real world. I don't like it. I'm alarmed by it. I'm scared of it. But I have to march forward. As do all of you. That's what I was saying about Jimmy Kimmel. That's what I'd say about Stephen Colbert or anybody else. Part of winning the game is knowing the game you're playing and adjusting accordingly to ensure that when all is said and done, you come out on top.
Yeah, like I said before I was cut off by the FCC of YouTube, all I heard was Massa up. Massa don't like you talking about him, boy. You better sit down. Listen here. I don't know who taught you how to read, boy, but if they learn you know how to read, they gonna whip you. They gonna give you 3 lashings. Okay? So don't let them catch you with that book in your hand. Don't let them tell you. Don't be letting them catch you teaching everybody else, giving everybody else the word. When you start teaching everybody else to spell, oh, you gonna get us all. You gonna get us all killed. Well, House Negro Stephen A. Smith, buddy, listen, we can't adjust to fascism, buddy. We can't do it. We can't do it. Some things you can turn the other cheek. Like Martin Luther King, you can turn the other cheek. But some things you gotta fight for. If you believe in your First Amendment rights, if you truly believe in it, then this is something we must all fight for. This is something we must all stand together. And just like Ted Cruz, he don't like Jimmy Kimmel, but he knows what's right. Because if he thinks Jimmy Kimmel's gonna be the only one silenced, like he said, as soon as the Democrats get another person in office, guess what's gonna happen? Honestly, Democrats are soft. I ain't seen one tough on nobody. But I do believe with the way the political climate is, the anything goes climate, where you have Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jasmine Crockett bickering back and forth like school-aged children in a congressional meeting. This new political space we in is different. So it might be some get back if conservatives follow through with trying to silence the media, with trying to silence podcasters, with trying to silence TV show hosts. I'm telling you, it's going to be bad. I ain't talking about violence bad. I'm talking about shut your mouth, boy. You can't teach them to read. We got to pivot. Okay? If Master start to think that we know how to read, he gonna separate us. Well, listen, that's why we need to stick together. Okay? It's not a revolution. It's evolution. And we ain't finna evolve to something that's gonna hinder us from moving forward. Okay, this is a teaching lesson to move forward. Okay, and the forward motion is that we cannot silence people because they have a difference of an opinion. Same thing with Charlie Kirk. Same thing with Jimmy Fallon. I mean Jimmy Kimmel. You can't and it's gonna happen to Jimmy. And The View is next. Boy, they got a hard on for what's her name? They got a hard on for Whoopi Goldberg, okay? Whoopi Goldstein looking ass.
Even Ted fucking Cruz, to use his full name.
We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Look, let's all agree Ted Cruz is an incredible vocal talent. And he should definitely quit his job right now and go do that instead. But he was actually on his way to making a much bigger point.
I hate what Jimmy Kimmel said. I am thrilled that he was fired. But let me tell you, if the government gets in the business of saying,
What
we
you
don't
can't
like
say.
what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like. That will end up bad for conservatives.
He's just right. And I'll say this. In this unique clip of news on this one thing, I must admit, he's not completely full of shit. Even
the FCC should not be threatening action against ABC or its affiliates or Disney based on Jimmy Kimmel being a jack. He's been a jackass his entire career. Why? Because one day the shoe will be on the other foot.
Appropriate. Brendan Carr's got no business weighing in on this, but the government's got no business in it, and the FCC was wrong to weigh in.
Look, I like Brendan Carr, but what he said there is dangerous as hell. He says, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
There's been this move today to rewrite the story of how Jimmy Kimmel ended up being indefinitely suspended to absolve Brendan Carr of his role in this and the government's larger role in it. But the timeline just doesn't add up. I've heard, well, read the Hollywood Reporter and read the Wall Street Journal on this. I looked through all of it, and the common denominator is that Brendan Carr said to Benny Johnson, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. And the affiliates, who were already freaking out about it for sure, decided then that they were going to pull it. And so ABC and, Disney in general, Bob Iger, had no choice but to do it. There are some smart Republicans that are cautioning them to come back from this line. Ted Cruz, of all people, who's the chair of the Commerce Committee, which actually has oversight over the FCC, said what Carr said there is dangerous as hell. That's right out of a mafioso. When it's used to silence conservatives, we will regret it. We should denounce it. So I understand now we don't live in cancel culture. It's just consequence culture. And you think an eye for an eye is a good solution to everything. That's what I've seen pelted at me about this. Well, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. That is not a way to run a free society. And you can't just trample on the First Amendment because something tragic and horrible happened.
More Republicans are speaking out against the FCC, who is backed by more Republicans than anybody because of the situation. Okay? Republicans aren't stupid. Okay? Y'all don't want to give up y'all's freedoms of speech. I'm telling y'all. Everybody, this is why I say this is the first time in a long time that Republicans and Democrats have sat at the table and broke bread together. In any other instance, they would be bickering back and forth all day. Fox News saying this, CNN saying this, MSNBC saying this, The View saying this, Jimmy Kimmel saying that, Stephen A. Smith, yes, massa. We know, I know. There's a whole lot of niggatry going on here, and we're gonna shut them down, okay? Stephen A. Smith. Anyway, and let that house Negro say one of them big words. Massa gonna know he been reading. Stephen A. Smith don't use those big words around Massa. They gonna know you been reading, boy. But anyway, this is the first time that right-wing and left-wing politicians and media have agreed on something. See? It works. The system can work. The Constitution can work if you follow it. But everybody want to just make up shit. And everybody want to fight back and forth over the dumbest stuff. And so all we got to do is stick to the rules. If you stick to the rules, then we can make it work. But they want to bicker back and forth. So it has to be something tragic to happen, which Charlie Kirk was the first. Charlie Kirk was the first tragedy. Second tragedy of freedom of speech, Jimmy Kimmel. Okay? If we get a hat trick, shit. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. If we get a hat trick on silencing people who speaking out, but man, listen. Y'all gotta understand, we all have our rights. And this is the first right of anything.
You know how some things in MAGA world always gets boiled down to you either hate Trump or you love him? Well, I want you to listen to what Senator Ted Cruz, a dyed-in-the-wool Republican, had to say about this whole FCC, Brendan Carr, Jimmy Kimmel saga. Listen.
No, 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 no. Look, I like Brendan Carr. He's a good guy. He's the chairman of the FCC. I work closely with him. But what he said there is dangerous as hell. So he threatens explicitly, we're going to cancel ABC's license. We're going to take him off the air so ABC cannot broadcast anymore. And I got to say, he threatens it. He says, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar.
I'm about to put that at the beginning of my videos. So we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. Watch, I'm going to clip that at the beginning of every one of my videos.
Going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. But let me tell you, if the government gets in the business of saying, we don't like what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like, that will end up bad for conservatives.
Just to reiterate, that was Senator Ted Cruz, a Republican from Texas, and he really lays out what he thinks is a shakedown that's coming from the FCC and the broader threat that he sees to free speech. Now, this is an important moment. It's an important moment to remember that there are some things that are not really about partisanship. They're about principles, and this is one of the most fundamental one in American history. So this debate that we are having about what is the role of government when it comes to free speech, about whether or not regulatory bodies should be using their power to curtail speech, is one that we should all take very seriously. I have to tell you that at the end of the day, there is a debate happening within MAGA world about whether payback should really be the goal here. Christopher Rufo, a very influential person in that world, has basically said, this is tit for tat. They did it to us in the 1960s. We should do it to them. Is this really how politics should work? Well, that is the debate, and we are going to have it. Person in that world has basically said, this is.
All right, so let's see what Christopher Rufo. Sorry, but the FCC was established by FDR to impose public standards on broadcasters used by JFK to pressure station managers into dropping right-wing radio programs. The shoe has been on the other foot for almost 100 years. Turnabout is fair play. See, that's one. This is one of these. So. So pretty much what they saying is JFK, they was putting pressure on John F. Kennedy. That's probably why They got him out of here, didn't they? In Dallas, they got him out of here to drop all the right-wing radio programs, to shut him up, to silence. Right? You can't do that. She said something. Oh, somebody said something. Somebody said ABC pulled them, not politicians. Bullshit. Yeah, ABC took them off the air. Pressure from the FCC. Brandon Carr. But who did he get pressured by? Who did he get pressured by? Do you know? I think y'all got to be honest with yourselves when y'all really say, like, the elephant in the room. Let's just say it. That's all y'all got to say is who is pulling these strings. Who hates Jimmy Kimmel the most? Who has enough power to make a move like this? Who has enough power? So let's not just say ABC just got fed up with Jimmy Kimmel. And actually, they have an agreement about the things that Jimmy Kimmel says, and they know they're going to receive pressure about it week after week. But they have to put up with it. Why? Because it's freedom of speech. First Amendment. He's not threatening anybody. He's not inciting any violence. You know? By the way, I was playing a little game. Speaking of Charlie Kirk. We ain't even speaking of Charlie Kirk. But Charlie Kirk, you know, he be pushing all these agendas, right? And he be always talking about black people and black people business. But the one thing he don't never talk about is y'all business. Two ICE detainees were gunned down in Texas, right? It wasn't nothing but freedom of speech. But 2 ICE detainees were gunned down. And they have a suspect. They have a suspect, but he's not in custody, but they have one. They released a photo of the suspect. And guess what race he is? Okay? Now, there's a bigger problem that Charlie Kirk should have been addressing. That's not my forte to address y'all's issues. This is something that y'all gotta handle. White on white crime or hate crimes by, okay? Y'all gotta address those, because that's not my thing to address. That's not black people's thing to address. So that's why we black people don't never step in white folks' business. We try to handle ours. We don't go get into Mexican business. We don't go get into African business. We don't go get into Chinese business. We black Americans, we try to focus on ours, and that's why we've created spaces for us to do that. And so when all these other situations is happening with other ethnicities, and like what are the Indians, the people from India, Indians, not the Native American Indians, the real Indians over there in India, when they have a problem in their community, they handle it within their community. They don't go around talking about how white people should do this or black people should do. Maybe they do it behind closed doors, but not outwardly speaking about what other communities should be doing. And that was a big problem. And that was one of the things that started this whole thing full circle. Because when Charlie Kirk was assassinated unjustly for his speech, for the things that he said, whether they were right, wrong, whether the statistics was off, butterfly in the sky, I could go twice as high. If the statistics was off, damn, I can't say that word. Statistics was off. It don't matter. Whatever he said, it was his freedoms of speech. And he lost his life for it. And that's wrong. Jimmy Kimmel lost his job for it. Multiple other people, even though a lot of other people have lost their jobs for their freedom of speech because it was insensitive and it didn't show. Like a lot of companies say, those aren't the moral and values that we want within our company, which is perfectly a good idea, because you don't want your people just flying off the handle whenever some shit go down and start just saying all type of stuff online. You do want to uphold some type of integrity within your company. So as an employee to a company, shut up and dribble, okay? Don't be out here trying to be laughing at people losing their life and over freedom of speech. Like I said, it's First Amendment. First thing we gotta do. Anyway, somebody else is not happy with this situation.
This needs to stop. Violence is wrong.
Oh,
Politically motivated.
oh yeah. This is what I was just talking about. I'm glad I brought that up just now, because I didn't even know this was in here. But yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Violence is wrong. It was 2 weeks ago today that we saw a political assassination in Utah that tore the heart out of much of this country. This is the third shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP. This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop. To every politician demanding that ICE agents be doxxed and calling for people to go after their families, stop. This has very real consequences. Look, in America, we disagree. That's fine. That's the democratic process. But your political opponents are not Nazis. We need to learn to work together without demonizing each other, without attacking each other.
See, this is why they say Ted Cruz is dumb. This is exactly why you had a layup. Like somebody, you fast break, you LeBron James, all you gotta do is grab the ball, lay it up, and you pull some JaVale McGee and just drop the ball. It wasn't even directed at ICE agents. It was directed at the detainees. 2 detainees. What is he talking about? Whose man is this? Whose man is this? I was just like, oh yeah, Ted Cruz, he should be y'all leader. No, the fuck he shouldn't. Get his ass out of here. Who let this guy in the door? Who did anybody brief him on what happened prior to him giving this speech? I mean, come on. Bro. If anybody need to lose their freedom of speech, it's Ted Cruz. Because what are you talking about, bro? It's the democratic process. Man, he you know, he felt that. Like, he been wanting to say that for a long time. But it's wrong time. It's the wrong time. What is he talking about? Ain't nobody coming after no ICE agents. What is he talking about? I mean, people do. People say stuff. But this, Ted Cruz, I don't even know if this was one of y'all, because your last name Cruz. Is he Mexican or something? Or is he like from Spaniard? Or is he a Cruz from Spain or something? What is he? Whatever he is. Ted Cruz, you suck. You should. This is your one time to speak the truth. You failed. You failed, Ted. Who put him on the podium and said, the ICE agents were shot at today? And then he got up there and gave his speech and thought he was, we're going to fight against anyone who's coming after ICE agents. Turn around, it was a white guy shooting at detainees. Man, goddamn. Boy. Remember, I prayed for 33 hours hoping that it wasn't one of us. 33 hours I prayed that it wasn't one of us. Ted, you still within those 33 hours of praying that it wasn't one of y'all. And when you wake up in the morning and you realize, you're going to be like, damn. You sure they wasn't shooting at the ICE agents? They didn't even graze them? Oh man. Oh man, that's crazy.
What do you think about Jimmy Kimmel being pulled off the air, Roseanne? And what do you make of ABC putting him back on tonight?
Well, I guess he got a 6-day suspension. I got my whole life ruined, my no forgiveness, and all of my work stolen, and called a racist for time and eternity. Jimmy purposely lied, and that's for you get your hand slapped for 6 days for that. And I think ABC, they really try to protect their lowest rated shows for their shareholders, and destroy their highest rated shows for their shareholders. So it's kind of like backward day every day in the liberal world.
Have any of the big networks ever approached you again, or did you just get totally written off?
Oh yeah, and erased from history, from the history of feminism, which that cracks me up. I'm never mentioned in any thing about women who are pioneers in media. I'm never mentioned there. I'm never mentioned in anything anymore. I'm like, I've been socially erased everywhere. And, it's just amazing how things work. But, people I actually opened doors for or gave careers to, they never mentioned me.
I love Roseanne. I used to spend late nights up watching DJ and um, Darlene. I forgot the blonde haired sister name. And, and then the neighbor who was actually her husband or something. Whatever. Anyway, that was a long time ago. Yeah, her career been washed. But she came from a different time when you could say racist stuff and get away with it, like, because it was like borderline racist, but it was kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? It was like really edgy content. Problem is, she brought that around with the new millennials. They wasn't playing that shit. They wanted to end all racism. She came out and bust out with the N-word one time and she was done. Like, girl, do you know it is 2018? What are you doing using the N-word? You're white. She didn't get the memo that they was. That's why comedians was fighting back. They like, hey, we can't even tell jokes no more. It's like crazy. Every time we tell a joke, we get canceled. If the joke is going towards any group, they get canceled. So what? We don't need to cancel. We need people like Roseanne. Let's start a petition to bring Roseanne back. Okay? Because after Jimmy Kimmel got off, fuck it. Let Roseanne say an N-word every 6 to 8 months. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Her ass be gone again, looking ass. We're not playing that with you, girl. Stop all that mess. She knew what she did, and she knew it was wrong. But Roseanne is unapologetic, and that's okay. And I understand it because she comes from an era where you could say what you want to say on air. Okay? It was just like it was that time. Okay? But it's not that time no more. We trying to, I don't know. That was remember cancel culture? The lady said it was cancel culture. Then now it's punishment, consequence culture. You're gonna have consequences for what you did, buddy. We're not gonna cancel you. We're gonna hit you where it hurts in your pockets. All right, that's what it is. She got more.
They told me I could not have those 24 hours. I could not be allowed on any of their other programs, which, like, I go, hey, put me on The View or Jimmy Kimmel. Those guys have both done blackface. So obviously you got double standards on your racism crap.
Yeah, hello.
I've never done blackface.
Same.
And, Joy says she was imitating a beautiful black princess queen or something. Okay, Well, it's blackface.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Whoopi defended it, and Whoopi
Yeah.
stood next to Ted Danson in minstrel show
She told him
blackface
that
at a
she wrote
roast
his act.
and thought it was hilarious. Yeah.
And it
Those are the
kinda
same people
was
judging
hilarious. And it kind of was hilarious.
you. Well, we used to be at a
Because
point.
of her sitting next to him laughing.
See? I told she was like, I ain't wear blackface. All I said was, okay. All I did was say the N-word. Negative. Look at that ass.
Why does Jimmy Kimmel get to return to ABC after just 1 week while I was permanently fired? I'm still reflecting on that tweet from 2018. At the time, I had taken Ambien and wasn't fully aware of what I was saying, which led to inappropriate comments about Valerie Jarrett. Immediately after, I apologized and reiterated my stance. I never intended to hurt anyone, but ABC didn't even give me a chance to explain. They immediately canceled Roseanne and fired me. That show was my heart and soul, and it had such high ratings, but it was all gone because of one mistake. What hurt even more was that from then on, Hollywood blacklisted me. Even my name was erased from the Media Women's Trailblazer record, as if all the effort I put into my career had been wiped away. I'm not trying to defend myself, but I just want to ask ABC, why do I have to pay such a heavy price for one mistake? I lost everything while others barely faced any consequences.
Hey, y'all. AI is a mug. That was a good... I mean, the voice was a little bit off, but AI is good. They basically told the story of Roseanne and how she's feeling right now. And this is, I don't know if this is a Roseanne fan or who made this, but we all want to know, can we get Roseanne back? TV ain't been the same. TV ain't been the same since we lost Roseanne. I mean, we didn't lose her. She just not on TV no more. You know, we got people like Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm saying? Who fucking Stephen A. Smith? We got who else we got? Yeah, take what's that one lady with the orange hair? Take her. Her name is like Kathy something, Kathy Griffin or Kathy. Take her. Give us Roseanne. Take that other lady back. We don't want her. You know, take Sarah Silverman. Give us Roseanne. Like, Sarah Silverman ain't even funny. At least Roseanne was funny. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Jimmy Kimmel's reaction when Roseanne got canceled 7 years ago.
Posted online. The biggest story of the day today was Roseanne. Roseanne, you're not going to believe this, but she tweeted something outrageous. I know. Yeah, right. The president did it too. It's crazy. Anyway, ABC decided to cancel their highest-rated show, Roseanne, following a tweet in which Roseanne compared an African-American woman, a former advisor to President Obama, to an
Now
ape,
cancel
which did not
culture
sit
came
well
back
with
to
ABC
him.
management
How ironic.
or anyone with a brain, really.
Jimmy Kimmel's reaction when Roseanne got...
Comment reads, Obama didn't like what Roseanne Barr tweeted about them and got her fired. Roseanne was canceled in 2018. Who was president in 2018? I'll give you a hint. It was not Barack Obama. Have a day. Comment reads,
Well, that solved it. I told y'all where it's coming from, but y'all didn't want to listen. I told y'all where it's coming from. So whether you think it was ABC, the FCC, or the DMV, somebody who has enough power and influence to put pressure on the FCC to get Jimmy Kimmel off of the air, it happened. So it doesn't matter. Roseanne was canceled. That was a whole different time. That was a whole different time period. She's a comedian, and she thought she was being funny, and cancel culture wasn't having it. You had the Me Too movement, cancel culture, and now you got the consequence culture. Okay? And all you freaky filth old men from back in the day, P. Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, Russell Simmons, R. Kelly. They getting all you freaky motherfuckers that took advantage of all these women back in all these days, drugging them up and putting all this baby oil all over them and everything. So if y'all up to no good, they gonna get y'all regardless of what. But just remember what era you in. You know what I'm saying? Cancel culture's over. Now we're trying to protect freedom of speech. So Roseanne could make a comeback. Roseanne could make a comeback. Shout out to the Republicans because y'all finally got it right. Y'all finally joined the Democrats. Y'all finally joined the Democrats to fight the good fight against the First Amendment. This is the first time y'all have agreed with the Democrats in over like 12 years. The first time. Okay? So thank you guys. And I appreciate y'all for putting your best foot forward or your best wing forward. Okay? This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be moving forward with all this stuff. Okay, please move forward in life, and y'all join me tomorrow for more hot topics on politics, and we're gonna keep it lit. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Whether you like me or hate me, you know I'm speaking the truth, and you sitting there mumbling, jumbling, and all this stuff. Hey, if you right wing, you better come right. You better come right or get left. That's gonna be my next slogan for y'all. All right, man. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all tune in. If y'all missed the replay, y'all gonna catch up on the videos. I'm gonna be putting them up in clips, so y'all check them out, man. Everyday people. Holla at y'all later. Peace. Now look into space and wait on my theme music.